Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokasham Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshiniim Bhagavatiim Ashtadashadhyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidussura suraganah Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Hari Om. We completed the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita last week. And today I'll give you a summary of that chapter. This chapter can be divided broadly into three main portions, three of them. The first topic deals with Ishvara Avatara. The discussion is about incarnation of the Lord, which is a very unique concept in our Sanatana Dharma. Very unique. Incarnation of the Lord. The second topic is Jnana Karma Sanyasa. Sanyasa, renunciation. Renunciation of what? Karma Sanyasa. Renunciation of action. That's just not giving up action just like that, but Jnana Karma Sanyasa. Renunciation of action through knowledge. That is very important. We have to very clearly understand that point. Jnana Karma Sanyasa. That's why this chapter is called Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. This is the central theme of this chapter. And the third topic is Jnana Sadhana Palanicha. What are the sadhanas, means to gain this knowledge, and what are the results that accrue once you get that knowledge. So these are the main topics. So I will discuss each of these topics briefly because we have covered it in detailed fashion, words by words, word by word. We have already seen, but just to recap, summarize, we'll look at all these topics in a summary fashion. Let's take the first topic, Ishvara Avatara, the incarnation of the Lord. It's dealt with in verses 1 through 15. In this section, Bhagavan Sri Krishna shows the differences between Ishvara Avatara, the incarnation of Bhagavan, and Jiva Janma. We don't call our birth. It's actually reincarnation. We've been there before, come back again. Reincarnation. Again, this reincarnation is a unique topic in our philosophy. When you just look at the word incarnation, they seem to be the same. Bhagavan has parents when he comes, he's born, he has a date of birth, and he is here in this world for a certain period of time, maybe more, maybe less. And we all, human beings, also do that. Our parents are there. We are born on a certain day. We celebrate that date of birth every year, much fanfare. And one of these days, we also say goodbye to this world. All this seem to be the same. But we should know there are three important basic differences are there. One is at the level of the cause of avatara and the cause for janma. The cause for Ishvara avatara and cause for jiva janma. The reason why we show up on this earth. That's one. Second difference is at the level of swarupa, the very nature. What is Ishvara's nature? What is our nature of taking this birth? Nature of this birth. The third difference is with regard to the purpose. Why does Bhagavan come down? Why do we come down? So, Karana, Swarupa, and Uddeshya, purpose. These are the three differences. At the cause level, what causes our birth? Jiva Janma. It is caused by plain and simple ignorance. Okay? Not knowing our true nature, we do so many actions, and those actions have results, have karma phala. Some of them we enjoy, some of them we do not. But every action has to give its result. And if it is not experienced in one birth, it has to carry over. And as and when those karmas fructify, we have to take another body to experience those phala. So, jivasya janma is because of ignorance, ajnanameva karana. Ajnanam is the karana. In the case of Ishvara, in the case of Bhagwan, he doesn't have ignorance. He knows what his nature is. He never forgets. So when he comes down, it cannot be because of ignorance. Not just possible. He comes down for a different reason. He comes down because of compassion. And we've seen so many Puranas we've studied, and in all of them, some people are going through a real hard time. Some Rakshasa is there, making trouble, making their lives miserable, or some rishis are there and they are not able to do their yajna yagadi, whatever meditation they want to do, and these asuras are there giving them trouble. So they go and pray for Bhagavan to come down and take care of this, this problem. Bhagavan, as he had explained already in this chapter, beautifully explained, that whenever arises and dharma is on the decline, to protect the good people, I come down and restore. So that is why he comes down, and that is because of compassion on his part to uplift, set things right. But we don't come down out of compassion for anything because of ignorance, karma palas. We have to, so we are forced to come down. The difference is like somebody has fallen into the well. He was not watching where he was going, and then he, boom, fell into the well. And he's screaming for help from there. And therefore, another person goes down to pull him out. The first person, unceremoniously, he fell down. The second person is going down out of compassion to rescue him. Both of them are going down the well. That may seem to be the same, but it is so different. That is why we use the word avatara, the one who comes down purely out of compassion. And when he does so, Bhagwan also undergoes through a lot of problems. He endures all that due to compassion. Sri Krishna was harassed. Bhagwan Sri Rama, he had to go looking for his wife, kidnapped. All that was there. And he endures all that because of compassion only. We endure them, and sometimes we don't, we just complain. Okay. This titiksha is endurance, but without complaining. We put through that, but ad nauseam we complain. But Bhagavan takes it, voluntarily. So we come out of compulsion, Bhagavan comes down because of his own volition. So this is one. The second difference is with regard to Swarupam, the very nature. As we said, Jiva comes down because of ignorance. Therefore, Jiva is bound. Jiva does not know his higher nature. Therefore, Jiva suffers because of the ignorance. Therefore, Jiva is Baddha Swarupa, is bound. For Ishvara, it is a Leela. It's a sport. Whatever he does, even the suffering he endures, that's all. Just a sport. In his avatars, he never complains about the sufferings he has to endure. He goes through all the trials and tribulations with a smile on his face. So Bhagwan is Mukta Swarupaha, ever liberated. One more difference is, in the case of Jiva, the body is made out of the 5 elements. We've studied elsewhere how from Maya, the subtle elements come, and the subtle elements become gross, from the gross elements, and all that we've seen. So body is essentially made up of these elements. Maya does not directly produce the body of Jiva, but it does so through the 5 elements. It is a bhautika sharira, physical body. In the case of Ishvara, it's a direct conversion through Maya only, but doesn't go through this process of going through the elements. So, we see some avatars, Narasimha avatar, boom, he just came. He was not there. There was a challenge. Is he there in that pillar? Yes, here I am. He made a grand entrance. Just like that. So, avatars, very depth. So, this is a second difference. Nature, swarupa of the avatar. The third difference is the purpose. The purpose for which Bhagwan takes avatara, and the purpose, the reason why we come. We've already mentioned that this is a fallout of the first reason. Case of Jiva, the purpose is exhaustion of papa punya karmas. Because of ignorance, we have done actions. So karmas have been accrued, and those palas have to be experienced. For the exhaustion of those karma palas, papa punya, all of them. Good actions we do, bad actions we do. So thereby we accrue punya as well as papa. And they can be exhausted only through the experience of sukha dukkha. Punya karmas, the results from them would be sukha. Papa karmas result in dukkha, sorrow. And a body is necessary for such experiences. Good or bad, you need a body. So this is that the body is required to experience this papa punya is very clear when we analyze deep sleep. In deep sleep, the body, mind, etc., they are not functioning. At that time, there is no experience of joy and sorrow. It is, we do talk about sukha experience in deep sleep, but that is not an objective experience. That is being in that own nature, swarup. A very experience is not the right term for it, although we do use Brahmananda Anubhuti. We use the term, but we have to be careful. It has certain limitation. And for want of any other word, we use it. Okay. So really speaking, there is no experience of objectively no joy, no sorrow, because the body and minds are not there. Experience of joy and sorrow is possible in the waking and dream state, where the body and the mind or the mind are active or functioning. Only then the exhaustion of papa punya karmas are possible. So jiva takes a janma, takes up a body, this papa punya phalas, and exhaust those vasanas, those karmas. It's not only human births, other births also, animals, insects, birds, everything, the same. And Ishvara Avatara is not for any of that. No question of exhaustion of Papa karma, Punya karma, because as we already said, he doesn't have ignorance, so he doesn't do karmas. There is no karma pala. All that is not there at all. Then what is the purpose? And that purpose was beautifully stated in the 7th verse. And we had seen, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. Ishvara is responsible for the arrival, and he is also responsible for the maintenance of creation. He is the Srishtikarta, Sthitikarta, Layakarta, everything, whatever is required for the maintenance of this creation, he will provide. And the way to maintain this creation is through dharmic way of life. Dharma Shastra is the operating manual for the ideal use of creation, so that we have optimum benefit. If that is not followed, and from time to time the way away from that, then adharma becomes rampant. When that happens, Bhagwan will intervene. He'll come down, take care of business. His intervention is called avatara. The avatara maintains the creation in two ways. Drastic method like a surgery. Like in cancer, the malignant tumor, in creation, the adharmic people are surgically removed. Second method is educating humanity. In certain avatars, he destroys the Rakshasas. In certain avatars, he does twofold jobs, both destruction and education. This dual function is evident in Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara. Rama Avatara, the Lord was a living example. In addition to killing Ravana, he did that, but he served as a role model for all human beings. Similarly, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he destroyed Kamsa and other Rakshasas, but he also taught Arjuna, and over the shoulders of Arjuna, we are also privileged to get this knowledge. Follow the path of Rama in your life, because he has set up the model. And then follow the teachings of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Then you are in good hands, those two hands. Rama hand on one, Krishna hand on the other. You are in good hands. Okay? Revival of dharma that had declined is the purpose of avatara. Having talked about the avatara, Bhagwan concludes the discussion by saying that whoever knows the Lord completely, janma karma me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. That person who gains this knowledge, who knows me completely, tatvatah, in its very essence, that person will not come back again. He will gain freedom. He will be liberated. The emphasis is on the word tatvatah, completely, in essence. The Lord has a higher nature and a lower nature. Secret is the higher nature of the Lord, never subject to birth and death. In Purusha Suktam also it is said, Ajaya mano bahuda vijayate tasya dhiraha parijananti yonim marichinam padamichanti Vedasaha. The Lord is born without being born. From the higher nature, Dehi Drishtya, Chaitanya Drishtya, Swarupa Drishtya, Bhagavan is birthless. But from the standpoint of his superficial body, that is only a shell. So, Sri Krishna in the 6th verse said, Ajobisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakritim swamadishtaya samvamyatmat atmamayaya my own mayaika. Never born. I am born only as it were. Thus the one who knows the birthless higher nature of the Lord and the birth lower nature of the Lord, he will be liberated. The 7th chapter, he calls this para prakriti and apara prakriti. We'll be seeing that later on, higher and lower nature. So Bhagwan concluded the avatara topic with the 15th verse. And this beautiful topic is not discussed anywhere else. So in this way, the 4th chapter is very unique. Some topics which are not covered anywhere else here. The next topic is Jnana Karma. Another important topic, renunciation of action through knowledge. And as I said, this is the central theme of this chapter. This is the crux of this chapter. And in fact, entire Bhagavad Gita also. This topic is covered from verse 16 through 24. There are two types of karma sannyasa. Karma sannyasa, renunciation of action. Two types of giving up action. One type that is well known is a person quits the society, is not a member of society, he becomes a monk, hermit, whatever you want to call, a sannyasi, is given up all actions, all karmas, all duties. If you are in the society, if you are in the family, you have very specific duties. You have duties at various levels as an individual, as a family member, as a member of society, community, nation, of the world, all. That is one. Then, supposed to dedicate yourself to the pursuit of the highest. If you have attained the highest, share in any way the knowledge is gained. So the sannyasi does that. This is the chaturtha ashram, the 4th stage of life. Brahmacharya, grahasthashrama, vanaprastha, sannyas. So either one goes through the 4 stages, or if he is inclined to, if he is qualified, he can skip from brahmacharya, he can go straight away to sannyasa ashrama. That avenue is also there. So, this is one type. Second type of sannyasa has nothing to do with our external situation. It is purely, strictly internal. Internal. By discovering detachment. Just like a lotus leaf that is in the water, it does not get wet. This example is quite often given. You can be in the family, you can be in the society, going about doing all the actions, but still you are detached. You are still a sannyasi. The detachment comes through jnana. This has to be done by discovering the Atma Tattva. once I recognize the Atma, which fortunately happens to be asanga, unattached, just like the space which is associated with everything. All objects are in space only, and yet it is not touched, polluted, contaminated by anything. So too is Atma. So I have to do self-inquiry, Atma Vichar, discover what that Atman is, clearly understand that, get to know I am not this body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am that Sachidananda Atma. This body, mind, intellect are all part of the creation. Let it continue. Let me be like an actor who goes on stage, plays his part, totally identifying with the role. But he never loses sight of who he or she is. The actor never forgets who he or she is. We get involved in various roles that we play on the world stage, but lose sight of our true identity. Instead of identifying with Atma, which is our very nature, because we make ourselves to be the Anatma. The identification with Atma is not easy, and it can be gained only through Jnanam, knowledge, Atma Jnana. And there is a process for it. Shravanam, Anant, Nidithyasana. And before getting into that, you have to prepare yourself through Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, so on and so forth. So it's not that simple. So through Vedanta Vichara, when I learn to detach from action, that is an internal renunciation. And that is what Bhagwan calls as Jnana Karma Sanyasa. Renunciation of action through knowledge. So continue to do everything. The actions are being done. You go ahead, do. But not be attached to any of them. This is a beautiful concept, and every verse in this section is really wonderful. Yasya sarve samarambah kama sankalpa varchitah jnanagni dagdha karmanam tam ahuhu panditam buddhah. What a transformation it brings about. Interactions are objectively seen. And so are the consequences. You don't get affected by all that. You're very objective about everything that goes on. And so you don't unnecessarily react to them. Jnanam reduces the impact of successes and failures. You are able to handle the worst shocks in life. Thus, even though the jnani is fully involved in action, tyaktva karma phala asangam nitya trupto nirashrayah. So he is detached. Karma phala asangam, not attached to the results of karma, and therefore nitya truptah, he is ever satisfied. Nirashrayah, he doesn't have unnecessary hopes and expectations. So relaxed. It appears as though he is not involved in anything. Okay, let me not get into further discussion. Then it will not become, there will not be a summary. It will be another series of talks on this fourth chapter. I'll just cite one more verse and discuss one last point. While describing this jnani, Bhagavan talks about both a grihastha, householder, as well as a sannyasi. Both types of jnanis are there. Grihastha jnani is there. Sanyasa jnani, sannyasi jnani is also there. Karmani avipravrittah api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Even while engaged in action, he does not do anything. For that, brahmarpanam brahmahavi, brahmagno brahmanahutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma karma samadhina. So, in fact, brahmarpanam is the description of a householder jnani, grihastha jnani. This talks about the highest knowledge. From this, we come to know that liberation is not dependent on the ashrama. It is dependent on your wisdom, on your knowledge, or lack thereof. That knowledge, wisdom is not there. Every ashrama is bondage. You might have taken to Sanyasa ashrama, but if you don't get that knowledge there, you will be grumbling about Sanyasa ashrama. Why did I come to this? I should have been. Maybe my life would have turned out for the better. But unfortunately, Sannyasa ashrama is a one-way street. He cannot go back. Except very rare examples are there. There are examples, and I've talked about it. So, even that ashrama will be a bondage. So, this is the second topic. Then from the third topic starts from 25th verse till the end of the chapter. And this is where he talks about Jnana sadhanas and Jnana phala. The preparations that are necessary, Jnana sadhanas. And then the results once you gain the knowledge. He talked about 12 yajnas. And again, there's no need to go through all of them in detail, but just a brief mention. Talked about Daiva Yajna, which is the regular worship. Then Vishaya Bhoga Yajna, that converts all your interactions to worship. Even taking food is seen as an offering to the Lord within you. Through yogasana, mastery over the body and all pranas, the senses and the mind, and then charity, tapas, moderation in everything, discipline in eating, study of scriptures, jnana yajna, preparations for it, all these various types of yajnas. Okay? If these things sounds not so familiar to you, if you think you are hearing this for the first time, go back and review that. Because this is not the first time we covered all this. All right? The importance of a guru was pointed out, how to approach a teacher, serve him. These are all part of the means. Tadviddi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Approach the guru, serve him, ask him the right questions, and he will teach you. And the importance of faith. That was also mentioned very beautifully, very famous phrase, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. One who has Shraddha, he gains knowledge. And finally, Bhagavan emphasized Tatparaha, meaning commitment, holding that to be the ultimate goal. Let it just not be an academic study. It's not a scholarly effort. So all these come under Jnana Sadhanani, preparation, spiritual practices that will help you to gain knowledge. Just like light is opposed to darkness, only light can remove the darkness. Similarly, only knowledge can remove ignorance. Only through that knowledge one gains liberation, and this is required for a spiritual journey. Only spiritual journey can accomplish this knowledge and liberation. And scriptures are like a mirror that show, the mirror shows our face. None of us have seen our face directly. We need a mirror. When you look at the mirror, the reflection of the face is there, so we get an idea of what that face looks like. Similarly, Shastra is a darpana, scriptural mirror that is needed to know our own self. So to know that, Shastra is the mirror. Jnana Yoga is the primary sadhana, and all other supporting sadhanas are also there. So Bhagavan made that point, Shreyan Dravyamayat Yajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Samapyate. All of them terminate, conclude in Jnana. So Jnana Yajna is the proximate or the direct Sakshat Sadhana. Means to liberation. You have a choice with regard to other sadhanas. Every sadhanas, you have a choice. They are auxiliary, supportive of this main Jnana sadhana, Jnana yajna is circumventing that. Other sadhanas, according to your ability, you can choose one or the other. Fine. They are all sahakari karana, supportive, to gain jnana yogyata. The purpose of all the other sadhanas is for you to gain your fitness eligibility for undertaking the study of scriptures under a guru. There you have a choice. Just like a temple is there. Some of our big temples, they usually will have 4 gates, 4 entrances, north, south, east, west. You can enter the temple from any of those. But the sanctum sanctorum, the Garbhagriha, that is only one. All right? Regardless of which direction, which gate you took, you finally have to go through one door where that deity is there. There is no choice. But to the temple, 4. But you have to enter the temple to get into this sanctum sanctorum. It's like that. Preparatory sadhanas, many. You can take to any. They're all good. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, upasana yoga, this, that. All for preparing the mind. Once the mind is prepared, use that fit mind to gain this knowledge. After talking about jnana sadhanas, then he moved to jnana phalam, the benefit of the knowledge. What do you gain? He mentioned 4 types of benefit. First is moha nashaha, destruction of all confusions, conflicts, delusions that you come across in life. That's not because you will have total control over the future, but the knowledge gives me the strength, the emotional strength to face any result. All our conflicts are due to the emotional, psychological weakness. That's all. Once knowledge is there, we have the strength to deal with it. Knowledge is power. So, mohanasha, first one. Second is papanasha. All papas, karmas. From prior births. When we say all karmas, we're talking about sanchita, agami, and prarabdha. All karmas Once you gain this knowledge, they are all destroyed. Sanchita karma is destroyed. Agami karmas will be avoided. Prarabdha karma will get exhausted as you live through. So, upon realization, these karmas, they don't touch you anymore. After gaining knowledge, the jnani does not accrue any new karmas because he's not a karta anymore. All actions are done by the upadhis. He doesn't identify with those upadhis. So, as actions are going on, he is still the akarta. As an akarta, no karma can touch him. So, no agami karma. So, there is karma nasha. When we say this, it applies to papa as well as punya karma. Punya karma also are a problem. Why? To enjoy the benefits of punya karma, you have to take birth in the higher lokas. You have to go to heaven and there stay for a long time. Enjoy the benefits there, but you're still not liberated. And at the end of the day, when you're tenure, there is a term, once that in limit, cannot gain the knowledge. Those heavens are bhogya bhumi, enjoyment only. Only this human birth, this life is karma bhumi. We are in karma bhumi. This is where the right action, we can gain this knowledge, be liberated. So, the fourth result, which is a technical result, is Jiva Ishvara Aikya Darshana. One sees, recognizes the Jnani, he recognizes the essential oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, the realization, Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman, is the ultimate benefit. That's the ultimate benefit. So may we all benefit, may we all be successful in our endeavor to reach the goal. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Purnamevavasheshyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.